we were working the different side control positions. We'll now just start from side mount, working attacks from here, okay? To start off, if I'm here, like we said before, I want to be high in the body, particularly if I'm going to attack the upper body, all right? If I'm attacking the arms and I'm sitting on his stomach, I'm in a bad spot. It's going to be hard to control and I have to reach much further. So I want to be able to work up. So I'm here, chest is active, pushing down into him. My knee is wedged into his head, other elbow into his ear, this knee by the hip. This elbow could be also controlling, so he should be sandwiched in like a vice. Everything's clamped down, chest pushing. Okay, at this point now, I want to try to isolate this arm. All right, so a few ways we could do it depending on what's going on. If he's just passive like this, holding here, right, what I could do, use my head to reach towards the mat, like I'm going towards his hips. This arm is overhooking by the elbow, and now this reach is not hard to grab. Once I get here, now we have my favorite attack, all right, the Kimura. I'm gonna go through it first and then I'll walk it through, all right? Ideally, that's what I'm looking for, okay? So again, he's here. Boom, I wanna pin that wrist to the mat. I'm using monkey grip, so my thumb's not in there. It's just hooked over. And this wrist pinning to the mat, super important. If the hand's in the air, you have a very weak Kimura. Hand should be stuck, okay? This arm, it comes through, I'm hooking over my own wrist. The other thing here is I want to do what I call motorcycle grip, where I'm going to roll my knuckles into the mat, okay? Because right now, I'm on fingertips. A strong guy could just do a tricep extension, right? And start peeling out your grip. And they're going to try to swim out. When I roll my knuckles down, he tries to peel out now. It's harder because he has to go through my palm rather than my fingertips. My fingertips move, my palm doesn't, okay? It also, when he's dry, you can rotate his arm a bit, which makes it much more uncomfortable for him. Okay, so your motorcycle grip, elbow on the mat, all right? A lot of people have the elbow on the hip. The only problem here, he bridges. Now my elbow flares out. He can weave his left knee inside, kick out, boom. So elbow on the mat, he bridges, nothing happens to me because I'm not connected to his hip, okay? Next point here, arm should be like an L, okay? If the arm is too extended, it's easier for him to swim. I can still finish him here, but it's easier for him to swim his arm out, all right? So if I have that 90-degree bend, that gives me that space where he can't swim. If you focus on bending the arm too much from this position, it's not an issue, except that my elbow is gonna be floating now, right? And by nature, you tend to put it here, which creates that same problem from earlier. So I like this 90-degree bend because it allows me to keep that elbow on the mat. Another big detail here is my left elbow. Should go by his elbow. If I'm out here, this is initially where you make your grip, but it's not the strongest finishing position. Your strongest finishing position is up by the elbow, okay? Once we have this, now we're getting ready for the finish. I wanna move my chest over the top of his shoulder. You can see when I put his arm in this position, how his shoulder starts to peek out. If I put pressure here, right, it starts to become very uncomfortable, okay? So I don't wanna be out here. I adjust, boom, kind of in between north, south, and side control. I'm a little bit at diagonal. Now all I have to do is lift, my left elbow here, and it's a done deal, okay? He's tapping because it's a lot of pressure there when you combine all the things. Normally people are used to stepping over, making a big movement. When you're very tight with your Kimura, okay? Again, we're here. And for the scenario, let's say he's even locking hands, right? It's gonna be like stalling here. I can just push, break, get my position, adjust, get a tap. This is like the most efficient way you'll finish a Kimura. The pressure is very tight, all right? So just be cautious with your partner. If you just try to crank it real quick and you're doing everything right there, you're gonna tweak the shoulder.
Does it matter if he's framed on your hips?
If I'm here and he starts framing up my hips, it's gonna make it harder for me to walk up, right? So I definitely wanna get around that. If he gets a good stiff arm on me, right, and I'm here, I gotta work cutting my hips so I can climb up the body, right? Just be aware if you're the partner and you're using your hand to post, that you could get your wrist rolled if the guy's hip cutting, right? So like for training purposes, like you saw Avellan, he's always using his forearm. it makes it safe for him. He won't get his wrist rolled. But if I'm stiff arming like this and my hip folds over, it's like a wrist lock. Any other questions? Let's do it on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hook. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of all of my latest videos on YouTube. But really the best place to find all my content is my website, davidmma.com. You can register for free and get access to 4 free courses, including Kimura Fundamentals, Essential Half Guard Kimura, Essential Half Guard Passing, and much more.